get told some pretty important things today. I feel like the end of my day could go one way or another. I believe I am going to be getting told whether it will be possible to have another baby or not, so that feels pretty deep and pretty big, pretty life-changing if I'm honest. And then I will find out a lot of other things, so it's going to be a lot to take in. I will be recording the full session because I am going on my own. So yeah, it feels surreal that I'm on my way down now. It's been something that has been getting talked about for over a year, and here we are. I'm both nervous and kind of ready to find out what's next. Yeah, it's going to be new. My lovely friend Ashley, who is one of my oldest friends, we met in primary school. She actually lives down in London, and she has kindly offered to meet me after I've been for my tests and my appointment, just in case I need that bit of support. So I'm looking forward to a lovely catch up with her. But yeah, I've spent some time with my husband Mark writing all of the questions that we want to ask, because I know that when I get in there it'll probably become a bit of a blur, and you know, you do just get mind blank. So going in very prepared. I've got all of my scans written down. I found that from historic appointments that is key to have all of my data in front of me, because different specialists have access to different things in terms of my record. So yeah, preparation is key for anybody else going through this. And yeah, I'll take you throughout my day. Haven't been down to London for a few years now, so I've just been trying to figure out my tube routes. So wish us luck on that. I've got a couple of hours from when I pull up to King's Cross to get across to the hospital, so should be okay. Yes, so my next update will probably be as I'm on my way to the hospital, so I'll update in terms of my emotions, what I'm going through. Hopefully I find it okay. Yeah, I got here early, so it's right next to the Westfield Shopping Centre, so I thought it would be rude not to get a little cheeky acai bowl. So I'm going to get this down just so all my levels are okay when I get all my blood tests and I've got some food in my system. So yeah, on my way, still feeling very nervous. My stomach is full of butterflies. Just don't really know what to expect. So I'm going to get this down my neck and I'll pick up once I'm at the hospital. Heartbroken. There has been some good points, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that I need to digest, compute, take in, and I'll do the video on another day, because if I'm honest, right now I'm not in any fit state. I will just break down, and I think I need to process it also and talk through it properly. But in short, I've been very let down by the NHS. Really let down. Lots of things that could have been done to help me. I definitely should have been hospitalised, and there was even a disease that I had that wasn't even picked up by the specialists around me, so I actually had two things. So I'll go through it all, as I say, when I've had time to think and process, but I just wanted to touch base so it wasn't like last one I think deserves sitting down with a cuppa. Well, a nice coffee. So yeah, where do I even start? I obviously went to London on Tuesday. It was very emotional. I think I've actually went through a few different stages following the appointment. It's taken a while to digest the information. I had a lot of sadness, I've had anger, and now I'm in a stage where I really want to use this and channel this energy to help other women and basically raise awareness of what is available and what is out there. In a nutshell, what was really highlighted to me on Tuesday was that I really was neglected within my pregnancy. And one of the main causes for that is that the disease itself, ICP, is one of the most under-researched diseases within pregnancy. Now that to me just blows my mind that we're at this day and age and it's so under-researched. Now what I really want to push here, and this is a really critical point for anybody that is going through a pregnancy with ICP or is in a position like myself where they've had such a traumatic pregnancy that they think, I couldn't even put myself through that again. Please, please, please contact ICP support. They can help from a mental support perspective. They can help from giving you the knowledge that you need. They can help in terms of being a professional that have the knowledge about this disease, and they can link up with the hospitals that you're dealing with, the medical professionals that you're dealing with, and offer the advice and support to make sure that you get the care that you deserve and that you should get. So I can't express that enough. When it comes to my pregnancy, I found out so much on Tuesday that it actually blows my mind. So firstly, with the disease that I've went through, ICP, there was so much more that I could have been given to help me. So I did mention on my video prior to this that I was given USO, and then I was taken off it because they thought that I was having a reaction to it. Now a key thing there is that they thought I was having a reaction to it. Now anybody that is taking USO, obviously seek more medical professional advice, but it isn't a bad thing if your bile acids are going up as long as your ALT is coming down. So what it will do is your body will produce more good bile off the back of it. So the bile's going up, which was a mistake that the medical professionals around me misunderstood my reaction to USO. When I've actually looked at the charts with the professionals that have all the knowledge in ICP, my ALT and my liver was going down with the with the medication. And my bile acid, yes, it was going up, but as I say, the drugs itself was working. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was working for me, because my itching did get very severe at that point. And the professionals did take me off it that were around me. Now, we will never know if I would have got to that stage anyway. And the reason that I'm saying that is because past that point, in coming off the medication, my itching didn't get any better. Now, what I have found out is there was a lot of other medications that I could have been trialled with and I could have been given. There is trials out there at the moment that have had some success in relieving itching, which to me was the worst part of ICP. And to even hear that was like, I can't even explain the feeling. If that would work for me, that's like a game changer. So the good news, and the news that I went down knowing I would get on that day, is that the professionals do think that I could have another baby. There's a lot that me and my husband have to talk through and we have to consider, because it isn't going to be easy. I am going to get the disease again, more than likely. But I'm going to have the care around me that I should have got last time. So that's been a bit to take in, and we still need to go through the journey to discuss it together. And I will take use on that with me, because I think this is another main thing that I want to push within this vlog, is there's so little awareness that when you have a traumatic pregnancy, that you're stuck in this position of, could I go through it again? You're risking your life. And I know that you do that with any pregnancy, but you feel it more than ever when you've almost lost your life in one, obviously. And then it is a team decision that you've got to make. Now, my husband came along on this journey with me, and if I'm honest, he was mentally affected as well, and I will go into that for all of the boyfriends and husbands in the back. And I would really like to bring my husband in on it, just to share his perspective, because I do think that they are forgotten in a lot of this. So we do need to take time. There's still a lot of other results that I got tests for that I need some answers on before I can even make a decision on that. But obviously the main point is a positive, so that's good. Now, where I got very emotional on the day and I was so disappointed is, I will go into a bit of detail here that is a bit gross, but it is the realities of ICP, and I really want to talk through it, because if you've got it and you've got this, I want you to know that there's something that can help. So one of the side effects of ICP is that your urine effectively turns very, very dark, and your feces, how do you say it? I refer to it as obviously poo. It goes white. So I had that, and whenever I went into the hospital to get a scan, to get a blood test, obviously as they do, they get you to do a urine sample, and every time I got told you're dehydrated, and I was like, I'm not dehydrated, this is part of my disease. So again, that was a lack of knowledge around me and people reading my files. That really frustrated me. But what I found out on Tuesday was that I could have been given vitamin K. That would have helped with that. So again, push for that. If you've got this and you've got that side effect, please go and speak to those around you, and if you need to, reach out to ICP support and they can help you with that medical advice to deal with your professionals. But I was told that I should have been given that, and that could have helped me. There's a lot of medical trials, as I mentioned before, that are available right now, and that the consultants that I'm dealing with down in London are trialing their testing. So there is options out there for anybody that is in a situation like me and is desperately in need of relief in their pregnancy. So please go down that route. I obviously felt extremely let down that I didn't even get offered any of those medications. If I'm honest, I think I'm just out and exhausted from extracting the emotions around that I really just want to get the point out there that there is other options for women that are going through it. So yeah, I think again, get advice from them in terms of your levels and what testing should be getting done on that side. I feel like from the knowledge that I gained on Tuesday, a lot of my blood tests were just a tick box exercise. Once your levels hit a certain point, you should be treated as a patient of having levels of a certain point, whether they fluctuate or not, because you've reached that level, is what I was told the other day. So yes, they do have to monitor them, but maybe not as often. knowing that you have hit that level, so that's something to look into as well. And that would have really helped me personally, because by the end of my pregnancy I was in a very traumatic state in terms of getting blood tests, because of the amount that I was getting, the amount of mistakes that were happening, and some of the traumatic experiences that I had in terms of putting the needles in and essentially being pinned down to get them in at certain points. And I am going to have PTSD therapy, I think, to get over that, because if I am going to another pregnancy, I'm going to have a lot of blood tests. That's the reality of this disease, and I need to get around that, because at the minute I am having panic attacks if they can't get into the veins straight away, because it takes me back to that moment of being pinned down. That happened in my birth, which again I'll do a separate video on, because that is a story in itself. So yeah, they were a lot of the main things in terms of the lack of support that I just did not receive. And the main thing is, I really want to, as I said before, get out there that there is options, and you really need to go and find the professionals that know about this disease. You cannot, what I have learned, rely on those around you, because yes, they're medical professionals, but there is not enough research there. Now, I'm just going to take a moment and I'll come back onto the video, because this is the most shocking thing that I found out on Tuesday. Sorry I had to jump off there. This is the bit that I'm going to find hard. I've got my phone because I want to make sure I pronounce it properly. I'm really mindful if I don't want to push out any medical things in the wrong way. I am talking about my experience here, and I am pushing, more importantly than anything, to seek professionals. Don't take my advice, go to your professionals for it, but I'm telling you what I am learning, and hopefully that can help some other people. So what I found out on Tuesday was that not only did I have ICP, I also had another disease that I was completely undiagnosed for and untreated for, which to me has been really hard to take in. But I have to push this out here, because I've never felt more validated. I was made to feel like I was making things up, and that certain things weren't as bad as they were, and they were. I just wasn't treated for them. So as you'll have seen on my last video, and for those that didn't see, I'll share photos now of the state that I got to. Now don't get me wrong, I had lack of sleep and ICP, and it was mental torture, but it isn't normal to look like this. Anybody can see, and what I got referred to on Tuesday was that I am skeletal here. I know I'm skinny, but this is next level. I'm undernourished, and this is where I was extremely neglected. So I essentially had HG, hyperemesis, which a lot of people may have heard of, which is the severe sickness in pregnancy that usually results into hospitalisation if you're losing weight, if you can't get food down, if you essentially, to avoid you ending up in the state that I've just shared. As it's very dangerous, you shouldn't be losing weight in pregnancy. I just need to say, I'm really sorry, you can't get me words out. I was in hospital begging to be put on a drip. My mum was begging for me to be put on a drip. I can understand that now that I've got a daughter myself, seeing her daughter go through that and the state that I was in. I mean, anybody can visibly see that I am so skinny then. As I said in my last video, when I was begging for them to get the baby out to help me, to put me on a drip, couldn't keep food down. I couldn't leave the house, which is a huge symptom of hyperemesis. I couldn't keep food down. I was constantly vomiting. I was losing severe weight and no one treated me for this. I was getting made to feel that I was being silly. I was making it up. People coming into the room saying, do you not normally look like this? I'm sorry, but hello? That is disgusting. So anybody going through this in another pregnancy, push, push, push. Now that I can lift my head out of it, there's a million different obvious signs, but being in it and being in such a mental state and being made to feel that I wasn't in that state, I would say stop me from pushing more. And if I'm honest, I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the knowledge. And again, this disease is another, which I found out on Tuesday, another most under-researched and severe disease within pregnancy. So I had two of the most under-researched and awful diseases in pregnancy. Great. And I was let down by the healthcare system, like severely let down. Few things I want to go through is to put us on weight builder shakes. After I fought for it, by the way, I went and seen a nutritionist and he was put me on them within a second of looking at me. Not once did my midwife then keep weighing me. I wasn't getting weighed week on week, which, hello, if I was put on weight builder shakes, would you not be checking that I was put on weight on? Yes, that seems so obvious now, but that wasn't happening. The state of what I was in and no one was weighing us or saying, oh, you're keeping food down. I was expressing how much I was puking up and they would just put me on heartburn medication, which did absolutely nothing. And now it makes sense because I had a completely different disease. It wasn't heartburn. And the biggest thing that I'm let down with this is there's a medication out there that could have helped me with that. If I had have been given the strength, because I'd kept my nutrition down, I'd kept my body nourished, I was stronger, I had weight on, I could get out the house, how much easier would this pregnancy have been for me? I am absolutely disgusted by the healthcare system and how I was treated. You can see there's a lot of anger still in me right now, but I really, 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 really hope that me putting this out there in this way can help somebody else going through this. If you are going through this, please push, get weighed, push to go and get the drip, push to go into hospital. You should be getting listened to, and there are so many pregnancy support charities out there that you can go to that will help push for you and help give you the right medical advice to give you the answers. Now, I've had one of those links shared to me, so I've obviously got the ICP support, but for anybody going through hyperemesis or something else, I will put in the description under this video the link that I was given from the professionals on Tuesday that you can also use. So yeah, I am off the back of this going to put in a complaint, because why should I have had to go through that? Don't get me wrong, I've had some good news and I know there's so much to look forward to and think about, but I've had to grieve for my old self and the pregnancy that I lost and the pregnancy that I did not, I say lost, I didn't lose a baby, but I lost the pregnancy that I dreamed of my whole life. I lost any enjoyment. I came out of it, as I said in my first video, I hated pregnancy. And that's so sad. It's so sad that women are just left and just expected to just ride the ride and coast through it all. And do you know what? I've come out of it and thought, do you know what, Abby? You kick ass, you are strong. You dealt with these diseases with very, very little support, very little help. Like, good on you. And I'm trying to take some positives from this, and hopefully if I'm to go through it again, it'll be easier next time. So I know I've unpacked a lot within this. I will go through top level here, which is some of the things that I'm going to be finding out in the next few months. So I've had genetic testing done on Tuesday, which is to basically give me a bit more understanding as to why I get ICP. Because I still have a cyclical itch, which means that I'm getting a slight itching when I'm on my period or when I'm going through ovulation, they think that mine might be in my genetics and it may be hormone related. So I'm going to find out more about that in a few weeks' time. And I've also been tested because there is an antibody. So I don't think I've been through this yet. A few months back I was taken into hospital, and within that I found out that the antibody throughout my pregnancy is still shown within my blood markers. So it is suggesting that I may have an autoimmune disease. It's called ANA, which is the marker. So that's also been a lot to take in. So again, the professionals have taken all the tests, they're investigating that for me. The testing for a load of other things like all hepatitises, is there anything like that within my system that could be causing some irritations or making my disease worse than it could be. They are also testing me just for everything, just to rule out anything that can be found. I had ultrasounds when I got taken into hospital. My organs look great. I did get some news on my endometriosis, which again is a separate thing on that date. And then they also spotted that my ALT had risen again to 73. So again, that is getting investigated by the consultants that I've just been to see. So yeah, that's a bit of a waiting game. I need to understand more of what is going on in my body, and I really want all of the answers there because some of that could help me within my next pregnancy. So yeah, that's currently where I'm at. I hope I've shared it as best as I can. I am just a normal person going through this who doesn't have a medical background. I'm trying to share and raise awareness as best as I possibly can. I'll put all of the support links down, as I say. And yeah, I'll keep you on this journey with me. I am going to share next more of my pregnancy experience and post-pregnancy, because I did actually keep experiencing ICP, as I've briefly mentioned there. Post-birth, mine didn't disappear, so anybody that is also experiencing that could potentially help with. So I'll go through that on my next video, but if anybody's got any questions, wants to reach out, please do. Please drop comments and I'll happily, push you in the right direction, or just even if you just want somebody to talk to and share stories with that you can relate to, because I did feel really alone in this. So yeah, if you've stuck around to the end of this video, well done. And thanks for listening. I really, really do appreciate the support that everybody around me is giving me. And I just hope it does its job of what I'm trying to achieve. Thank you so much.